I grew up in an era of having skill. It was required to have skill. You you would not proceed or increase your earning potential if you did not have skill. And as I get older, I'm 39. I look horrible. It's okay. At 39 years old, I built a large part of my personality being perceptive and having skill. You know, I had to know things. Everyone is a lesson. You know, people broken down into resources and liabilities and maximize whatever person has to offer. Be able to communicate at every level because a person can have information but may not be able to convey it in a way that's, you know, largely beneficial. So you have to be able to interpret. It's your responsibility. It's not the responsibility of people to teach you. It's your responsibility to learn and teach yourself. That being said, my sexuality, my career, my movings, my interactions with friends are all based on my ability to hold conversation, communicate, and read. You know, I have to be able to read people. I have to be able to read body language. I have to be able to read intention. I have to be able to read the unspoken. Now, you have to be able to know what is and is not layered. And you have to be able to communicate effectively. That being said, I'm such a fried old bitch. I'm such a jazzy old queen. I'm an old screwed faggot that a large part of my conversation is provocative and in shade inducing. I have one of those. I speak in soap opera drama. You know, I speak in Diane Carroll. I speak in Delta Burke. You know, very sassy and saucy all the time. And as I have gotten older and realized, you know, sometimes it's not about what you say, it's about how you make people feel. We are in a current era that it doesn't matter what skills you have, it doesn't matter what you know, it doesn't matter who you know, a large part. It matters on how you make people feel. There's been a shift. And the odd thing about it is, let me start by saying, I am what people have made me. I am what men have made me. I got that from a Loki cartoon show on Netflix. But it's true. I was a bully, gay, fat kid. And I had a hard way to go. And, you know, your family's your first bully, my father especially. And then compounding those issues and interacting with the world and creating you know, being relentless, unyielding, persisting in spite of, oh, now it's a problem. I spent so many years being okay with who I am, not seeking other people's approval, you know, fighting against those things, trying to exist as I want to because I'm a person with free will and I can do that. I'm penalized for it. You know, people more often than not, when they first approach you in their first impression, are trying to size up if they're going to respect you or not. That's the truth. When they first engage you, that first bad joke and poor taste, you have to correct people. You really genuinely do, because if you don't, they are trying to see. Everyone's competitive. Everyone's comparative. They're trying to see how they're going to place you amongst them. They're competing with you, whether you want to admit it or not. And it's so fucked up because one, it's a gross generalization. People don't know you. They will never get the full scope of you, but they want to make quick assessments about you based on your appearance or how you present yourself so they can feel better in that moment while largely dismissing everything else that's attached to you. You know, they want to ask you the quick non-inclusive, what do you do? What do you like? You got kids, blah, blah, blah. They do it right then and there. They're just taking blanket statements to compile you out of 5 and 10 questions to see if they can compare to you. So when you get to a point where you correct those people and blah, 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 oh, you know, it's inconvenient. You made them feel away. You made people feel bad. Just by protecting yourself, because when you learn people and learn body language and learn different things about people, you get to be able to see it coming. You can see the ill intentions. You can see the weird conversations. You can see people are really weird. They genuinely are. People want to talk to you because they feel like they can. Nothing more than that. They want to sum you up. They're curious. They don't know how to properly, I guess, chaperone themselves. So they just bump into other people and just make a random conversation, and they think it's being cute, and it's not. And they think it's being funny, and it's not. And they say inappropriate shit, thinking you're supposed to be a good sport about it, until you correct them. And when you correct them, you're wrong. But it's funny how one-sided that is, because I'm the asshole if I don't engage you. If I tell you, you have the option to talk to other people. You have the option to always not talk to me. You do. But I'm rude for saying that. But it's not rude for a person to bother you with insincere familiarity or disingenuous familiarity or disrespectful familiarity. People can approach you with bullshit, but you're supposed to be a polite host. Man, fuck that. Anyway, being able to effectively communicate or being able to properly express myself, I've always taken it for what it was. And, you get the backlash. Oh, you might miss that on people. No, that's not true. That's not true at all. People who have good intentions show you that they have good intentions from the beginning. Don't make no mistake about it. The bitch that made you feel away that first time tried it. She did. He did. They did it intentionally. It was intentionally. It's not a joke. They really tried to disrespect you right then and there. They dead ass tried to do that. Don't ever mistake that. Don't ever confuse yourself. You're not missing out on people, bitch. People who mean you good from the beginning. You just got a lot of people who want to occupy space for whatever particular reason. They summed you up. Maybe you look like somebody they know. Maybe you remind them of somebody from school. It's whatever. People are random. But to tie that back to my original point, no matter how many skills I gained, I realized that expressing myself, even when you're right, it limits how far you can go. People don't want the truth. People swear they want the truth. I have told brutal versions of the truth where I've just gave you the most florid instance of how I felt. I have given stripped down, removed versions of the truth. I've given objective versions of the truth. I've given the therapy talk, uplift version of the truth. People don't want to hear the fucking truth. They've never wanted to hear the truth. People want to cherry pick information and use bias, confirmation bias, and make things feel the way that they feel and sort them out amongst how they feel. People want to feel good at all times. People don't give a fuck about the truth. They never gave a fuck about the truth. They never will. They don't give a fuck about the truth until they're faced with an impossible situation that the way they exist currently will not let them progress. That's the only time. People are too lazy for that. Don't ever think anything more of it. People are lazy. So, one thing about it, even if they have poor intention and they come at you crazy, if you handle it in a direct way or a direct way or less than pleasant way, they want to remember it. Capitalism is so fucked up because your supervisors can talk to you crazy, but when you address them back, you're wrong. And they want to hold grudges on it. And it's a lot of one gender over the other, but I'll leave that alone. You want to talk to people crazy. Then when people address you back and you tell them the truth, then you're wrong. And then they really do limit you on how you make them feel. They don't care if it's the truth. They don't take it in. They just get offended. They get offended because it's true. So what do you do? What do you do when all you've done was learn skills? All you've done was learn people. All you've done was learn the rules on how to play the game. And now you're in an era where no one gives a fuck about the rules. It's just how they feel, regardless of reason, regardless of logic, at any instant, at any moment, regardless of how inconvenient it is. We are at such a drastic level of individualism that people don't give a fuck and casually disrespect each other. How do you progress? How do you move forward? People ask you for your help and get mad at you for helping. How do you progress? Sounds like an impossible situation. Sounds rigged. Like, why do you participate? Well, you kind of have to. You kind of have to engage with some of it to get as far as you want with earning potential. You have to engage with some of it to get as far as you want with social status and standing. No one wants to just linger at the bottom, and no one wants to be delusional. I actually want to actualize the visions in my head. I actually want to put forth effort to being the best version of myself in my head. I actually want to do those things. But how do you do them when people are in the way because of how they feel? You got jobs and giving interviews about situational questions. What would you do in a circumstance when you were not getting along with a coworker? Baby, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I truly don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I think I'm better than them. I'm not going to lie about that. I think I'm better than them. I don't entertain people who are in the way. Get the fuck out. I'm going to move around you, or get the fuck out the way. I don't like being bothered like that. Being good means people ask you less questions. That's it. That's the whole point. I learn things to be good at things. I want to be good at things because, one, I like to be self-sufficient, and two, people don't bother you when you're good at things. They genuinely don't. They literally don't come and ask you shit most of the time if you're good at something. But now everyone's bad at everything. So you have to be more tolerant. You have to be a chaperone on jobs, in friendships, in families. You have to be more tolerant to people who wouldn't be as tolerant to you if the shoe was on the other foot. I'm weary of that. I'm bothered by that. It's a gross lack of skill. It's a gross lack in intention. It's a gross lack of ambition. And people want to occupy space. Everyone wants to talk about how the system sucks, but when you try, when you shoot for it, when you make it happen, they want their handout. They have their handout, literally, wanting a handout, figuratively. People are takers. We can sit here and pretend like they're not. And it's like, oh, what about the higher wavelengths and the vibrations? I have cruised and scoured different parts of the metaphysical. I've seen where science and metaphysical blend. I've seen it's all relative. It's all connective. Everything is true and untrue at the same time. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you believe and put your energy into is what you manifest. That's just the law of the universe. That's just how it is. That's how it is. If the world is less colorful, it's because you put forth less colorful energy. It is what it is. You get what you get. It's as fair as it's going to get. Even if the major systems around it are skewed, your participation, you'll get what you get even out of that flawed system. You can maximize in a flawed system. It's not going to be easy. But now you just got a bunch of people in the way wanting to complain and want to talk. They want to talk about complaining, and then you give them a solution. Because I'm a mean old bitch. I'll give you a practical solution. You ain't heard shit I said. You just hated it was so pointed. And now you mad at me. But then when I suggest, well, you have the option not to talk to me. Oh, I'm just a cold-blooded bitch. How dare you not want to talk to me? So how do I win? How do I win? I've had people tell me I have control issues because I want my living space a certain way. When you come and visit or you're in my house, I want shit my way. I pay for it. If I can't have shit my way, those my rules. I have control issues because I want the shit I paid for in my space to be how I want it. What kind of wacky ass shit like that? This is where we are. People are entitled to other people's space. People are entitled to other people's business. They don't give a fuck. It's a very bad sense of entitlement. People are entitled to your attention and don't even have a use for it. People want to talk, but don't have shit to talk about. Not even that. When the people ask you for advice and you give it and they're mad, don't talk to me. You know? People want to be in the way. People don't have any original thought of their own. But as soon as you come up with an idea, they got so many reasons on why it can't work. You were sitting there playing elevator music in your head until I said something. But now I'm the one that's just so stupid, and now I'm the one that makes no sense, and now I'm the one that is just so preposterous. Now I'm the one being outrageous. I'm the crazy one because I want to dream, because I want to engage with the collective subconscious, because I want a vision for myself. I'm crazy. They mad when you don't include them in shit, when you stop talking to them. Well, I ain't did nothing that wrong. You've been making little jokes the whole time. You got something to say about anything I do the whole time, but now you're mad that I don't tell you. How do you win? You cut them off, you're wrong. You keep them around, you're wrong. And then when you learn that lesson and you get that familiar energy for somebody new, you're wrong there for not engaging. I don't like it. I don't like this whole, it's how people make you feel society. I don't like it. It's phony, it's fake, it's entitled, it's bad, it's superficial, it's nonsense. People too lazy to participate in escapism in the internet because they're too stupid. Want to come and live their fantasies with you. And it's like, girl, I don't want to do that with you. I write mine down in a composition book. I draw. I sketch mine out. I keep them between me and myself, or I exchange it with friends who actually get it or get my view. I'm not going to say it. And even still, people demand to be seen and validated. That they don't give a fuck. They will go out of their way to be an obstacle to you just to get validation from you. And the lesson I learned in all of this that's separate and runs parallel is some people just ain't gonna never see it for you, baby. I had to experience that myself. No matter what I would accomplish, I had always bought most of my own things, put myself through college, but got every job on my own, stayed in every apartment. I put myself out there. I talked the talk. I walked the walk. I have slept in my car. I have just done double shifts, worked several jobs at a time, 2 or 3 jobs at the same time. I've done it just to maintain myself. And no matter what award you get, no matter what accolades you get, the motherfucker who don't see it for you just don't see it for you. They just never gonna see it for you. So it don't matter. I learned that. Why y'all can't learn that? Why do I get to be a source of attention? Because I ignore you. Why do you want my attention? Is it because it's me? Or is it because everybody else is boring? What is it? What is it? We don't even like each other. We don't have any other similar interests. A lot of the times we're not even in the same social circles. Why does it matter? Why? Why does it matter? They can't tell you. They just have the drive to be in your way. And you're supposed to deal with it. And then when you say, you know what? I'm going to remove myself from this. Oh, now you're a coward. Now you're a bitch. Now you're scared. Whether it's a relationship, a friendship, a job. Oh, you gave up too easy. When did hazing become a part of everyday life? Your relatives want to say the fucked up shit at the family dinner. Your coworkers want to make the bad joke that you told them about a situation in confidence because they said they want to be friends. Your friends want to use your shortcomings or your dates to remind you that you're human, usually in the worst, most unrelated situation. Everybody's looking for a reason to say something fucked up. They always are. So, why are you the bad guy for not engaging? And I know it sounds like I hate people. I know it sounds like I think the worst of people, which those things are true, but I do love people. It sounds crazy. I love people from the bottom of my heart. I specialize in men. I watched men being a fat, ugly gay kid with low self-esteem to I took not getting attention as a challenge. So I learned how to be suave and debonair and engaging. And I learned a lot of things. I know it doesn't look like this from this video, but I really learned the art of the game. I learned how to talk your panties off. I learned how to be charming. I learned a lot of stuff. And even in this current process, people don't give a fuck about that. They talk this shit. They talk it for the hyper virtuosity and the fake better than personas online. I really want someone to give me a chance and date. They don't want that. They don't really want that. If they wanted it, they'd go for it. They want to talk about it because it sounds, oh, I'm just so misunderstood in my ivory tower and no one gets me and I try so hard. Why can't I find the love that I want? It's just beckons for attention. That's it. It's not real. Those people aren't real. Those people say anything, especially if it makes them look good. Most people will. We've all been around a family member that say, all you have to do is ask me. You don't never bring nothing to me. But then, have you ever talked to a family member? It's a lot of lecture about how you should have known better. And usually no money. So, what did I tell you for? I thought I was telling you so you could help me. That's the illusion you led me to believe. But the truth of it is, I told you so you could gossip. You were secretly wanting to hear something horrible about me so you could go tell somebody else. That's it. You didn't give a fuck for real. You didn't even give me no money. Didn't even give me no advice. Just told me how you would have did it different. And didn't even give a good example. I wouldn't have did it like that. Okay, so how would you have done it? I just wouldn't have did it like that. People ain't shit. They ain't never been shit. So now you're in a place and you're trying to still make money. You're trying to still go up the ladder while you still have a little cartilage on your knees, a little youth, a little spring in your step. What do motherfuckers tell you? Oh, I would help you, but you made me feel. Bitches will hire somebody not competent, not capable, because they make you feel like a king, knowing damn well that person is going to bring down your productivity, bring down your area. People will bring motherfuckers on the jobs because they will kiss their ass or say yes and no. They don't give a fuck about the job being right. And I'm supposed to compete with that? I take pride in what I do. I take pride in what I attach myself to. I take pride in being good. I take pride in being lower middle class, aspiring to be true middle class. I take pride in working hard. I take pride in, it's what aged me. My face, my body, everything about me is from working 6 days, 12 hours for several years, just to have stuff, just to want to be somebody. Long nights, just to try to get the dollar amounts. And I was making above national average. I'm close to 100 several times. And now the old guard who will give a plucky young man a chance because he knew a thing or two and took pride in himself. All he needed was opportunity. It's now replaced by girlfriends. Oh, my girlfriend. Oh, my girlfriend. She my girlfriend. Your girlfriend don't know shit. You don't know shit. And then y'all just want to be in the way for other people to know shit. Because you still want to progress even though you don't know shit, instead of being comfortable that you got that far. So you got to be in my way, even though I know more than you, or I got practical application or experience more than you. We reward how people feel. You're wrong for not pretending to give at this point, even when it's just to preserve yourself. People always want. Bitches call you on the phone just to take jabs at you. Well, I would've. What's going on with you? Oh, nothing, everything good. Oh. Well, what happened to such and such and such? You had to dig through your file to find something fucked up to ask me about. Ain't that some shit? Girl, what? I handled that 6 months ago. That's on your mind? That's the last thing you remember that you could just say something fucked up to me about? Thought we liked each other. Thought we were friends. Why was that a point of conversation? Why you need to talk about that? Oh, okay. Oh, now I made you feel bad. Now I'm wrong. You didn't mean to point out negative stuff. You know, you just so stressed out. Oh, I'm sorry. What? I do my own thing and I'm wrong. I was only liked when I was saying fucked up shit. When I was a mean old faggot and hollering all the time, I was liked then. Oh, I kept pictures entertained and could repeat the horrible shit. Y'all want to hear something exciting? Oh, it's just so fucked up, it's cruel. Oh, you're just so funny. And the whole time you secretly hating was like, what are you gonna say to him? What are you gonna say to her? What are you gonna say? He always saying something funny. Girl, what? I just be wanting people to leave me the fuck alone. I didn't know that was what y'all was attached to. There used to be a time saying something fucked up to somebody kept them at your face. People want validation to the point where, like, you can cuss a motherfucker out and they go come back for more. It's bad. That's what we are. As long as you give them attention, people will accept hating you as long as you give them attention. That's where we are. People come back to more that they want to hear how you hate them, why you hate them. Tell them, yeah, it's like a shame king. Yeah, tell me why you hate me. Yeah, tell me why you hate me. Tell me why you hate me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. I am a low life. Oh, yeah. Like, people are crazy. People are crazy. That's a drain, too. Once you see it unfold in front of your face, like, yeah, tell me how bad I am. You be like, ugh. So it's like it's almost a sexual kink. It's like you're feeding their little fetish. They're getting off on you. That's what broke me out. I like telling the truth because I learned telling the truth because as a fat little gay kid who always got bullied and beat up on and shit like that, you know, it was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna get the ass whooping anyway because my parents don't have self-control. Fuck it, I'm wrong regardless because the teacher, as an adult, the teacher hate their life. They can lie. Once you establish as the bad kid, they're gonna find any reason to cry. You could be doing absolutely nothing. I got teachers right now, if they still alive, the only thing they can say I ever did in your class was draw in my little notebook. But I was always sent to the principal office. I'm telling you, you'll be surprised. What was I doing? Being fat and minding my business. It was like, fuck it. I had a teacher tell me not to draw on the cover of my notebooks that I bought. I was just drawing little math symbols on my math notebook. It's mine. I bought it. Don't do that. Call my whole mama. Because I want to add color to my life. Let me tell you, people sum you up. They sum you up. People looking for punching bags. They really are. And it makes you tough. So if I was going to get the whooping anyway, if I was going to get in trouble anyway, I might as well tell the fucking truth. That's the most horrible shit you can do to a person. Tell the truth, hurt their feelings. Since I'm going to get the ass whooping anyway. That's my attitude. I'm going to get the ass whooping anyway. Tell me the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth. Come on. What did I say? No. And I established myself on that very spiteful notion by myself. I'm gonna tell you the motherfucking truth. Since you wanna bother me so goddamn bad, I'm gonna tell you the truth. That was my whole special ability. Until they perverts turned it into spectacle. Bitch. Oh, I don't know if it's due to the Real Housewives. I don't know if it's just how comedy went. But it's like, given the grand shutdown, I don't take no shit. Oh, baby, that's a attention grabber now. But also, people want you to make them feel bad in that moment and then feel bad about it later. It's so weird. It's so, people really, I've had people really come up and pick fights with me. I'm talking about pick conversations. I had to learn how to survive, you know? I had to learn people's insecurities from looking at them. I had to be able to say stuff, or I had to be very quick about it, you know, to protect myself. And now it's like, it's a sick little therapy whack session. It's like, yeah, tell me that fucked up thing about me. I don't want to do that no more. It's like, it's an energy pool. It's a tug. It's like, they just want to hear you say fucked up shit. They want to get you mad so you can say fucked up shit. They ain't never heard nothing like that. It makes them feel a certain kind of way. I don't like that no more. I don't like that. I don't even really like talking about people like that no more. Like, why are we giving it the energy? You say you better, you say you hate it, you say you hate them. Y'all spend so much time talking about bitches you don't like. I don't do that. I genuinely don't. Whether I admit it or not, I have spent time on people I like. Even if I hate a bitch, you're like, girl, that's my sister, that old stupid ass bitch. I'm gonna talk about her. You know, not my bad. I call other gay men sister. So, you know, when I'm talking about my sisters, it's like, girl, you know, she old lady ass bitch. I love her though. Girl, blah blah blah. I genuinely love him. I don't want nothing bad to happen. He makes me mad. He's so difficult to deal with, but I would be hurt if something happened to him. I have a few like that. It's like, whew, we can only do so many doses of each other. But I don't want nothing to happen to you. And I'm gonna grumble about it. But I don't want nothing to happen to you. You know. So like, yeah, I hate you. But also, girl, if you're homeless, you can stay in my house. Like, you'll just be mad in here, but you ain't gonna do all that hollering. You know, that's what we can holler on the phone in two separate houses. We ain't gonna holler in my house. I don't do all that hollering. I was raised in a hollering house. And one thing about it, when you get to a certain age, you don't like all that hollering. That shit is annoying. I don't like all that loud talking. I shouldn't have to repeat my motherfucking self. If I said it one time, I meant it. All right, well, like, you know, that's where I am in my adulthood. I told you the first time. If I have to tell you again, it's really dragging my ass. Like, come on. Because I try to explain things slowly. I try to explain it for myself to make sure I don't get jumbled. And I want to make sure I'm conveying it right to whatever education level I'm encountering. I'm cool. And I'm not being off-putting or down-playing by saying that, because like, even when there's people more intelligent than myself, I want to make sure I explain it in a simple way, not trying to be one of those, let me throw multisyllabic words in it to sound equally intelligent. Let me just try to format this to make sure I'm conveying it properly so he can explain it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, tell me about that. Like, no, I don't want all that weird shit. You know, what about the possible ramifications of the synergistic systems? Oh, like, girl, it took me 15 minutes to string that together. I don't have time. Like, let's remove the pretense from it. You know, I used to love being pretentious. I used to love it. I don't care. Just say it. Just say it. Let's get it over with. Just say the sentence. Say it. I'm trying not to say it. Fuck, just say it. Say it. You really don't care. Just say it, girl. Say it. People can't handle it when you just say it. They say they want that. They don't want that. They don't want stripped down. They don't want unplugged. You know, they don't want Nirvana in a coffee shop in Seattle. They don't want it. Yeah, you know, they don't want it raw. They don't they don't want it like that for real. They really don't. They say they want it, but they don't want it. Like, you know, like niggas don't want kissing in the rain. Niggas don't want forehead to forehead at the airport. You know, niggas don't want hopping fence. They don't want real. They don't want out here. They don't want flesh and blood in that moment. They want words. So and then when you find people who want raw, it's very rare. It's very rare. It's addictive when you find somebody else raw. That's how respect works. There are people who don't talk like I do. Because I curse a lot and I have a little southern sass in it. You know, very foghorn leghorn meets Leslie Jones. Not Leslie Jones. The little gay man that just died. I forgot his name. Meet other little things. So it's just... It's just one of those situations where I guess if I meet somebody raw that's not as intense as myself, I use mindfulness. Mindfulness becomes the forefront because you never want to intentionally hurt somebody's feelings. And that's where I'm at. I'm at trying to be more mindful if you matter. I am very dismissive. So maybe that's just the consequences of being a narcissist so long. You know, I'm dismissive and I generalize, and some people are very quickly like I can see the patterns of people. I've seen facial features repeat. I've seen faces repeat. You know, I've traveled a while around a few states, so it's just like I kind of know how you're going to be. Like, okay, she's that type of person. All right, I already know what this is. You'll be surprised how people are how they look. People's personalities are how they look. Dead ass. Once you can see that playing out, like, I know exactly how you are. They be so irritated because I treat them exactly like that. I expect it. I already know, but that comes with I guess it's all connected because that comes with having a love of the game. I had a love of the game, so I had to learn how to communicate. Learning how to communicate made me pay more attention and learn different things. And when I mastered those different things, I haven't met anybody excited or new. I've been reading people so long and seeing how they all basically are the same. It's not exciting anymore. Yes, there are a few shining gems and massive pounds of shit, but they're few and far between. And they're battling their own personal battles, you know? So it's like, girl, how can I cling? I don't want to cling to you. I do want to enjoy you and we shine together. You know, and let's talk about the impossible. I like that. But sometimes you don't have time for it. Adults don't always have time for the fanciful or the whimsical or the colorful. You have to make time. And even when you make time, it's not enough time. And then even though you can remove layers of X, Y, and Z, some of those things do add to even the colorful people. So there is going to be an element there. That's what makes that color unique. So you still talking around each other. It's, that's when you start to learn that even when you find what's raw and colorful and real, if you don't check yourself, your shape will eventually collide with theirs, and you become incompatible. You know, there are people who step into their true self and not use mindfulness. You know, you're so caught up in the authenticity, you can become slightly impolite, and you have to like, whoa, I didn't mean that. You know, that's something you have mindfulness. It's not just arriving at authenticity. It's a constant journey in mindfulness. It is. So, you know, I hated people. I hate how they're in the way. But I guess you do have to go through those fucked up people to get to those gemstones, and you love them so much. And that's another part of it. You have to love without attachment. That goes back. I got jumbled, but you know, before you become incompatible, there's ways to preserve it. There's ways to preserve the people you love. There's ways to preserve them without end on a high note. If you see you and someone you love starting to change the lusters of each other's color, start to muddy each other's color, don't be selfish and keep them in spite of their well-being. Let them go. I can honestly say, through loving people, even when I didn't want to, I had to learn how to end it before we hated each other. I had to learn how to stop it before we never want to be around each other again. You can't date everybody you love. You have to know how to love. Some people are phospholite. You know, if you watch Land of the Lustrous or read Land of the Lustrous, you know, she's a gem of very light hardness. Some of us are diamond. Some of us are cobalt. Shit, some of us are whatever. So you have to know what you're encountering. You don't want to chip away at each other. You want to shine for each other, appreciate each other's colors, get close enough to blend your colors together. But be mindful not to overstep or impose on another person. And that takes a lot of teaching. That takes a lot of correcting yourself. That takes a lot of being accountable. That takes a lot of effective communication. That takes a lot of talking and not walking away feeling bad about being honest. You have to process it. And people say they want that, and even still, it's not many that can handle it. So you gotta end it. You have to learn to love it in the moment, appreciate the moment, and end it. You don't want if you can enhance somebody, don't stay. Don't stay. How to make them more creative, how to make them more expressive. That's the point. That's it. That's it. Stop equating more productive by your standard with better, because productivity is not the same as creating Many people can produce, very few people can create. Teach people how to create. Create, create. That's how I see be fruitful and multiply. How are you feeding and making new creativity? What are you really giving birth to? You know, so many people, especially straight people, just, well, they flopped out my ass. That's my contribution. That's my contribution. You produced a child based on how you are. If you don't get them therapy or access to education within your reason, within your capability, within your social status, within your background, within your health bracket, within all those subcategories, also accounted for better or worse. Having another motherfucker ain't made shit better. Let's be real. What are you creating outside of a new motherfucker to take up space? Laying an egg, is that your life achievement? Not diminishing it. If that's what you achieve, yeah, but you also got to be real. What are the conditions you're bringing the person in? Are they really going to be a better person? Can you really teach them to be a better person without feeling away? Can you really teach them to be a better person without being jealous that you gave them a better life? There's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different layers. Like, can you love it without wanting to control it? No, a lot of people can't. I struggle with it. I thought being overly domineering and stuff like that and trying to control it was what people wanted. They said they wanted that. Then you don't get the phone calls back. You too intense. Oh shit. Y'all said y'all wanted that. Or y'all don't want that for real. So that was a new process, being fat and gay and squishy. It's kind of like a frame story because I go back and be referential. Being fat and round and squishy made me want to be hard. I wanted to be man enough. I wanted to be good enough for my daddy. I wanted to be good enough for my uncles. I wanted to be good enough for my cousins. I didn't want to be the soft, squishy one no more. I wanted to have this good-ass job. I wanted to make this good-ass provider. I wanted to be the biggest, be the toughest. And I went to school and I learned different things. Then I started working manual labor and realized that, I can be tough there. And you build it up, you build it up, you build it up. Chasing the image of what you think a man is. And then you buy into all those toxic stereotypes. You tough, but you're stunted. Nah, I'm all those masculine things. I'll work a job. I'll do whatever it takes to get it done. I'll persevere in spite of. I'll do all these horrible, fucked up things to myself. I will brunt the storm. That's what I am. I am what people have made me. I am what men have made me. I'm tough now. And it's to the point where, like, I meet other straight men. They're like, damn, you kind of hard, dude. like, when I'm in one of my little moves, I give off really aggressive. And just be my wrist and face. I've morphed into that. I cosplay as my daddy a lot of times. He wore trucker hats and dicky shirts and we worked construction and all that. Like, I smoke cigarettes. I'm following right in his footsteps. And that came to be tough because black men give you a hard time. So I had to be barbershop ready. I had to be work down the construction site ready. Roll the streets ready. I had to be able to hold that kind of conversation with every genre. I wanted to be the minimum man, and also concrete man was a conquest. But there's a whole nother different thing. All that plays a role in my issues. That's why I was the top, being, I got to be the most man when as my ex said, I'm animalistic when I think about how it all plays out. So it's definitely power driven, intellect driven, and fear driven. You have to be, you have to have enough visible presence to make a bitch contemplate the ramifications on if it went left. You had to get it off. And surprising to note, sometimes I give that off well. Especially if you meet me in person, I'm a lot bigger, and I choose different lights to make me look softer, but I'm a lot more burly in person. I'm a lot bigger in person. Everything's a lot bigger. I am definitely a brute. So, anywho, people play into how they look, and that was the character that was how it worked. And that was me. I wanted power. I always wanted to be in control. And if you want to be in control, there are things to the game you have to learn. If you can't get it through how you look, you have to get it through how you know. If you can't get it through how you know, you got to get it through how you fuck. And if you can't get it through how you fuck, you got to get it through how you spin. That's it. That's all. That's how the game is played. If you want it, you have to spin for it, fuck for it, know for it, or go for it. And a lot of men don't know how to do that. They don't know how to commit to it. They feel like it's natural, especially straight men. They feel like they're entitled to that. You're not entitled to that. You have to work for it. But even now, even knowing, even doing, even practicing, even mastering that, it's about how everybody feels. I'm not saying there's a lack of masculinity. I'm not saying that. But you have to remember that these are times of prosperity and peace, so everyone's going to be a little softer. But at the same token, there's too much push for feelings, and half of the reason why we're rational is so we can make sound decisions in spite of our feelings. And I think a lot of that is being skewed by TV and things these days. A lot of people want to operate on their feelings, for better or for worse. All demographics, all powers, all nominations, all sexualities, all races, they all are playing the same game. So what do we do? If communication and bearing your soul don't work to people who are so entitled, what do you do? How do you continue to want to compete? How do you continue to want to engage? How do you make the best out of it? You find art. You find music. You find a new passion. I guess this is a revelation, because I spent all my years trying to build the man up, be the top. I'd have fucked over 1,000 men. I've only been fucked by 8 men. I'm the top of the top. So I don't get there. Then it was like, well, what is it all worth? Not shit. It's the same old niggas being the same old niggas. It's the same old white boys being the same old white boys, same old Indians being the same old Indians. Everybody's playing a game. You start getting lost in the wash. It's like, well, what is it for? And that was, as someone, like you said, as a fat gay sissy, soft and squishy and put up on, it was just like, I want somebody to touch me. I just felt so ugly and horrible. I spent years thinking my dick was small until because I was comparing it against my thigh, but I'm a fat boy. I'm thinking like I'm supposed to touch the end of my waist like everybody else. And then I lose the weight, and then things start getting closer to the waist. Oh shit, I had it all done. It was just buried. Oh, and girthy. So it was like, cool. Well, now I've learned something. Should have been working on that the whole damn time. Instead of feeling sorry for myself, that's what made me like, damn, when I started seeing how much time I was wasting, I started making better changes. I'm still not the most beautiful man ever, but I've come a very long way. And I still have more way to go. And I played the game. I didn't bend the rules. Like, if you wanted me to be something, if a man is supposed to be a provider, knowledgeable, hardworking, earning, and sexually competent, that's what I was going to be. And I did. And I did it very well. You know, but then everybody wants their emotions and everybody wants to imitate porn. It kills it. We're the ones who genuinely want to be finessed, who genuinely want somebody to work for. Everybody, ain't nobody playing the game no more. Everybody say, well, fuck it, I don't have to do that. I can find this man in this level of attractive within this so many feet, within this so many range, at this so many time, at this time. Fuck romance. I get dick. I have dick in 15 minutes. Romance takes 14 weeks. Fuck it. And I'm a contributor because I had to go through an evolution. You know, once you start getting the sex, once you get past the insecurity and you learn the things that you think you're supposed to learn to be more competitive in the game, and you start participating and competing, now you're here. And now you're trying to get up the ladder, trying to, I'm at this bracket of boys. I want to get to this bracket of boys. I want to get to this type of boy. And then you've had enough of each. Then you're trying the ones you're revisiting the brackets and the types, and now you're making a game of it. And now you're messing with DL, and you're messing with trade, and you're messing with discreet and married and all that. And those are the same niggas. They just occupied more times out the year. They just got more hush rules. Those different puzzle pieces. How can I make them get out of character? How can I make you love them? And as somebody who's played that game, making Trey love you is exhausting and dangerous. They ain't gonna never, don't waste your time. If you fuck them, but let that be it. Don't talk to them, don't ask them their business, don't get them in, get them out. Get them in, get them out. And don't always be available. Because attachment can grow even in the minimum circumstances. Just being able to answer the phone for a motherfucker, hey, I'm crazy over you. And that's gay too. And straight too, all of them. It's not a lot of well-adjusted people. So, I just spent all this time, and I was like retrained to the feminine. I've fallen in love and learning the history of ballet and learning the history of traditional theater and pantomime dames, and how men were always female characters throughout history, throughout theater, and just learning, homosexuality built the railroads. Like, just learning and embracing my people, but also embracing the feminine aspects of manhood, the artistic things that are like watching men sew, watching men paint dolls, watching men do artistic shit, do feminine shit. It really attracts me. It attracts me a lot. I've done all the man gathering. So it's like, let's see a different side of men. I've seen the stoic, the brute, the oster, all those different subcategories, the brawny, the dapper, the this, the that. I've seen it all. Let's see what the feminine men are doing. And they're interesting. And bows and makeup and lipstick is also great. I don't want to do drag. I just appreciate like pretty men, like Saint Seiya, Bishonen, you know, beautiful men from antiquity. Uh, you know, just really atypical men. I like the thief, you know, and I like the assassin. You know, I like the thinkers. I like. I don't want the brooding with the big sword anymore. I want to see the boy with the bow. I want to see the boy with the rapier. I want to see, you know, the boy with the razor wire. Oh my God, I love. If you use razor wire in an anime, oh, it's something so. It's like sewing. It's like it's a weird little feminine thing in my head. Um, I love it. I kind of have like some of Yujiro Hanba's thing about me, which I kind of put on myself, is that all of them are women. You know, you got to be a certain type of nigga to really be a man. So all of them are women. But then I started changing because when I started easing off of the masculine and started easing into some of the feminine parts of myself and just swaying more and being in touch with certain movements more, that increased my attractiveness. When I started letting my hair down a little bit, it increased my attractiveness a lot. How did we get that? How did we get there? I still don't know. You know, but maybe it's because I was trying to resist it my whole life. But my friend said it best. It was like, you have a beautiful damsel in distress. He was like, you're the only man that can pull it off. He said, you get men to help you. I was like, what? He was like, you get men to help you. He was like, you're the only man I know that if anything happens to you, you can get men to help you. And he said, men don't help men. Then I had another friend say damn near the same thing on a different day. They don't know each other outside of what I may have mentioned in cross-reference. But he said the same thing. It was like, you got bitch down. You got pretty girl down. It's very, you know, Audrey Hepburn about it. Like, oh, didn't expect that. So I enjoy that. I enjoy my maneuverability. I enjoy some of the sultrier things, some of the softer things. I feel like plush. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, I'm plush. And in that, let's be fully transparent. I had started to want to play around with the possibility of bottoming again. It's like, shit, I done did all I could. I done got the t-shirt on that. I have outmen the men, you know. I have outmen the men. I have conquered the men. The men need no saving. They have all been subdued. Bring forth the bitches. You know, it was my size, my body, my burliness which used to be, for what I heard back in the day, they used to love that. They used to love man's bodies. These niggas don't want it done. Like, they don't want that for real. Not no more. I guess it's all been a shift. Everybody bottoms more. Everybody's looking for their own personal pleasure. Nobody's wanting to provide pleasure anymore. Which is probably a gross oversimplification, but it does play a part as I see it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't give it away. I tried. So, you know, I got a little interested in dildos, and So I was like, fuck it, I'll handle myself. Hey, interesting perspective. Feels great, you know. But still, I do wish to get flirted with sometimes. That's what I like. I flirt a lot. I flirt in casual conversation. I can flirt. I'm a flirty person. I like being flirted with. I do. Like, flirt with me. Flirt with me. I like being flirted with. So even if it's a guy, if you want to flirt, flirt with me. I love it. I will flirt with you. I welcome it. I welcome it. Like, flirt with me. Like, really, if you think I'm attractive, flirt with me. I'm going to flirt with you. It doesn't matter who you are. I'm going to give you that 5 minutes, girl. Like, what's going on? I'm trying to be good. You know. For the most part. There are some people it's just like, I don't know. But if you give me a good flirt, I'm going to flirt back. Flirt back. Say, learn, practice your lines. Should I grade your lines? I've used them all. I've made them off the top of my head. I've just taken observations from what I've seen of people. Flirt. It's fun. People like that. People like flirting. Flirting is very fun. Get into it. Learn how to flirt. Learn how to flirt. It doesn't have to be the standard pickup line. Notice what she got on her shirt. Notice what he got on his head. Notice his color. People oftentimes, when they want to look nice, wear their favorite color. That's something easy to learn. People feel confident in their favorite color. A lot of times. So people will wear a shade of their favorite color when they're trying to look extra spiffy. It's not hard to learn that. That is so simple. Make a note of it. Oh, so blue must be your favorite color. Oh, well, yes. Either yes or no. They're going to both. That's still a conversation opener. They're going to explain why it's not. It's like, they're going to have a story. Oh, it's so crazy that you say that. I wear a lot of blue, but my favorite color is actually yellow. You're going to get the wild cards. It's not going to always be the same. Find the joy in conversation. It's the conversation that you don't think you're going to enjoy that's going to be the one just like, oh, really? I never would have guessed that. The energy I pick up from you is pink and blue. Like, you remind me of having babies. Like, come. I just think about having babies with you. It's not hard. Pink and blue. Babies with you. It's a little rhyme in there, too. So, you got to be creative. Like, it's not hard. I've used that line on men. Also, when it comes to talking to men, say it. Paint the picture. One thing about it, here's the art of conversation. If they will listen, they won't stop listening. So make it interesting. That's how you know when you have a good boss. If a boss will listen to your whole sentence, that's the one you need to talk to. The one that'll listen is the one that'll care. That's people. If they not the part of the sentence, know the difference between people who are fully listening to you and people who are pretending to listen to you. Because people pretending to listen to you are only cherry picking what they hear enough to get mad. Here's the thing. And appreciate the transition of some people, because some people will like, say that again. When they ask you to say it again, they're really trying to decide should they be getting mad. So say it again. If you have to reword it, reword it. It's easy. The sexiest thing you can do is communicate. People appreciate it. They appreciate it at the end of the day. So, be able to communicate. Be able to say the funny thing. Be able to make mistakes in conversation. Be able to recover a joke. Be able to let a joke fail. Be able to say the dumb thing. Be able to get correction. Sometimes you could say something proudly wrong and let the person you're interested in, if she's really interested or he's really interested, he's going to correct you. It's like, oh, well, tell me more. If they're passionate about it, they're going to talk to you about it. That's the opportunity to learn them. You not only do you learn them being passionate about it, you learn their tone. You can once you learn, this is how she talks when she's really passionate. This is how he talks when he's really passionate. Like, learn the inflections. Hear it. People are signaling you. You have to hear it. You have to be in tune with it. And a lot of people don't want to, like, you have to hear when a person is sad and when they're not sad. You have to hear when a person is mad at you when they're not mad. You have to be able to hear it. You have to be able to, I'm a trickster. You know, I'm one of those, I'm the fox demon. I'm the coyote. I'm Odin. You know, I'm Janus. I go through doors. I'm boundary ways. I'm a beautiful trickster. My yeses means no, and my no means yeses. So learning that art of deception, like I talk in a way, I'm going to tell you the truth, and this is how I'm entertaining. I'm going to tell you the truth in a way that sounds like I'm lying. And I'm going to tell you a lie in a way that it sounds like the truth. And I do that because once you look into it, I want you to always dismiss me so I can get the element of being right. That's a little haha. So if you tell the truth in a way that sounds like a lie, they're second guessing it off the bat. So one thing about it, you got some that will research it, and then they're gonna feel away. Cause like, that motherfucker, what? Or you got some that are just not gonna pay attention until it's eventually proven. Either way, you win. It's just how that branches into a new category, a new scenario. It's fun. Like, talking to people is fun. You have to hear more than you hear. You have to not just hear the words, hear how they sound, hear how they're resonating, hear how they feel. People can't hide how they feel when they're talking. If they do, you could automatically assume a person trying to control how they sound to not sound like they're projecting anything is mad, because they want to remove themselves from it. That's an easy assumption to make. They're usually mad. People who are happy usually try to signal that they're happy, but it's only people who are mad that try to mask being mad. So, you know, that's a great assumption to make. Like, go with that. People are only mad when it's true. That is something you need to learn. If you're talking to people, even when you make a joke, if they shift a little bit, that's when you know the joke stung. People will shift. They shift. So know what is a sore point, or don't know what is a sore point. You know, how sore is that point? What kind of shift was it? Was it a shoulder shift? Was it a spine shift? Was it a lower body shift? Was it a leg shift? Or hand shift? You need to know, because those are different intensities. Those are different signals. You need to know which one means, and you need to know across cultures, because hands in one may not mean hands in another, but hands are usually a safe general irritation. You know, but it's like shifting your seat. Oh, that's a nerve. You've hit a nerve. You know, shifting in the shoulders is like, okay, bitch. Heard you. Shifting the hands is like, okay. You know, but shifting the seat, it's like, okay, bitch. Like, you have to know the difference. You know, some people don't get that all that stuff, you know. But you also need to know how to make a person, not just hurt a person. You have to know how to engage a person. You have to know how to turn a person on. You have to know the different inflections to almost sing to them in a way. You're using your voice to sound like a song. It's being theatrical, but you have to. And it's funny because I think I'm doing it as I'm talking to you, because I think I know I did it with the truth and the lie thing, but I think I'm doing it because it's like I try to be more harmonious or I want to sound like I want to sound southern. I want to sound comforting. I want to sound, you know, like a hug from an uncle. I want to sound I want to sound at home. And that at home sound resonates with a lot of southern people. It can be masculine, like an uncle, and it can be feminine, like an auntie. And it can be those old school grandparents that started to sound like a blend of both. When you could tell a old couple that was in love because they started looking like each other. Um, you know, after the wife died, the husband started looking a little more like grandma. Them people, yeah. Uh, it's funny, but I pay attention to all that kind of stuff. Anywho, it's all about enjoying. You have to see what makes people exciting. But you will get a lot of the same signals. People imitate Cardi B's body language. People imitate Nicki Minaj's body language, Beyonce. People imitate rappers and stuff like that. So you have to see the projected body language and their natural deviation. Because people can move like Playboy Cardi all day, but they still have their execution. And you can usually pick that up. I could tell the music that a person listens to just by how they dress. Like, people are billboards to their own interests. It's not hard. You have to take a look. You have to use your eyes for more than just dick watching. You have to look at people, look at their nostrils, look at their neck, look at their shoulders. Are they presenting their heart to you when they talk? One of my things is I always talk with my heart. I talk with my heart, which comes off sincere. I stick my chest out, especially when and it's a lot of times it's natural, especially when I'm proud of something. Like, I talk with my heart, and that's endearing. A lot of people receive that well. That you don't know how that comes off. That comes off very confident. That comes off passionate. That comes off caring and honest. You have to be alert. Some people talk slump. Some people talk to the sides. You can tell when a person's being coy. You can tell when a person's being defensive. You can tell. It's not hard. You have to know how when people get rigid or people fold and finger with their hands. There's ways. There's ways to understand people. People don't want to listen. If you learn people, you won't get bored with people. The only time it gets boring is when everybody's imitating everybody else. And this, I will say, I hate to be ironic. I just said it's not a way to get boring, but a lot more people are using the internet for image making, for easy palettes. It's becoming dull. And now I have all these skills, and it's just like swipe left, swipe right. Swipe left. It's just like, where's the next one? When am I going to? I even try when I do Uber Eats and stuff, and I go in the coffee shop, maybe I'll run into it. And even then, you see more of the same, or different type of boy, or the magical Negro, the new black boy, the black boy, the traditional, the Southern black boy, the New York black boy. The YN, the DL, the trade, the gutter, the hood. You got to know the difference from all of them. The discreet, the business discreet, the married with kids, the blue collar discreet, the blue collar trade, the blue collar. You have to know all the categories. It's just one of those things. And across, you got to know, the passivos. You got to know what a chin-chin is. You got to know. If you're gonna dabble internationally, you got to turn on their languages too. You got to buy into their customs and categories too. Everyone's judging. Everyone's looking at you. Everyone's perceiving. Everyone's taking in your visual history. Everyone's taking in your color story. Everyone's taking in your tone, your body. They're taking into how you stand, your stance, all those things, your head tilts. Like I said, lean neck, is submissive. A lot of people in a place of authority get submissive, and your response is supposed to go into the hook. You're supposed to go in. If you lead in, you're signaling. You're giving it back. You're giving the reception of their submission. It's an art. When they submit their neck, you go in. You're supposed to go in. Like, do you not? Those stories are articulated in anime. When you watch shoujo manga, it tells you how they act. They take those very dramatic poses for that reason. Women are signaling. They draw is transparent art. The most moving art has the most readable body language in the most dramatic way. Like, if you're looking at the art, look at the art. Take it in. Take in the form. But I also had a obsession with muscles. So, like, learning the male form was just a part of the equation if I wanted to be competitive and wanted to have more sex. So, I got into swimming, guys that fence, track stars, football players, basketball players know how the body develops in each way. Know who played a sport in high school, know who didn't, know who could play a sport. You need to know, the body tells a story. It tells a very beautiful story. You can tell who did what, who had a foot injury, who twisted their ankle, who had a knee injury, who almost went pro. You can tell it. You can see it. You can tell from eating habits who got depression. You can tell everything if you look, but people don't want to look. It's not hard. It's fun. You can give an adequate version of care to people if you know how to read them. Knowing how to read them lets you communicate better. Take an interest in the person you're talking to. They're showing you everything about themselves, from their hairstyle to this is the type of adventure. He wears this kind of hair because of this. She wears this kind of that because of that. He dresses in this style because he likes this. She dresses in this style because she just likes that. You just have to pay attention. People tell you everything. They tell you everything. You can tell who's a fake fan. You can tell who's a real fan. You can tell that leads your conversation. You are introduced to a person visually. Then you learn. Then you, boom, read their story. They're standing right there presenting it to you. Read the story. Find interest in it. Make conversation out of the parts you find interesting. It's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. It leads to better sex. That's really how I got there. My self-esteem was so shit that I learned how to please people by paying attention to how they reacted to certain things I did. And I practiced. To get better at sex, you have to have more sex. There's just no shade. Y'all, some people be wanting freaks with no bodies. Baby, imitation is not the same thing. You got to get in the field. You got to be responsible. So, treat people according to how they respond in your hand. That is the opportunity. When a person bears themselves naked to you, they feel comfortable. They feel safe. Usually. Feed into the feeling of them feeling safe. That's how you make sex better. With anyone, touch them in a way that makes them feel safe. It translates very, very well. People like the sides of their ribs rubbed with your palm. Go up and down like this. You put pressure on your right here up to your thumb and frame it with your fingers and go up and down their sides, usually around the pec if the nipple is sensitive, and up to the upper rib. They also like their waist. Men are more fascinated with waist size than women are, because traditionally men were the one with slender waist. Women were more Rubenesque. Working men, surf era men, slave era men were all very small, slendered waist. Men are more concerned about waist than women are. You can believe that or not. But I'm telling you from what I've experienced, men who have slim waists are very proud. And it's a source of attraction. They like it. You take your hand into their V like this with your thumb, you frame it and you press. And they will respond to you very well in your hand. It's not hard. And your warmth from that, the press in the front frees the blood in your fingers. So your fingers are extra warm on the back. So it's going up like little warm, I don't know, like little warm massage points. So you're going up and down. You're going up and down, and it's a warm pressing feeling. It's enjoyable. You have to enjoy that. You have to be able to bring that out of a person. You know, you have to, like, most people's nipples are sensitive, or you can activate a nipple. You know, I had someone activate mine, and when they told me that, it freaked me out. And I thank him wherever he was. This has had to be about almost 20 years ago. He was like, you bite. He was like, you bite, you lick, you bite again, you blow, you lick. And he was like, that little bite with the blow and stuff like that. It was like those little bites bring the nerve signals there. So you got to make sure it's a light bite. And then when you suck it, it's like a soothing activation. And you bite it again to jolt it to make sure it's getting exposure. And then you blow. The air tingles. So those freshly exposed, those freshly exposed nerve endings, they jump. And then boom, activated. You don't bite hard. You just have to bite enough at the root of it, at the base of it. It's not hard at all. There's toe sucking. Baby, you know, men sometimes have rougher feet. Men have complexes about their feet. A lot of them do. And a lot of men actually have better feet than they expect. Some are rough, but some of them are real groomed. Men are subconscious about feet. So if you find someone that you like, if you want to show them a true way of being comfortable with them, suck the toe. It's just skin, baby. Suck the toe. I ain't saying just put like a black toe in your mouth or nothing like that, but although I have, I'm saying just like suck the toe. Show them that one initiative, and then they put more effort into their feet. It always works. They're one time. All it takes is one time. Show them something freaky. Show them something that they've never expected. And they're going to want it again. Be the first. And when you are the first, set the standard. When you set the standard, you have the boy. Forever and always. Can't nobody suck nipples like me. Can't nobody eat ass like me. Can't nobody suck dick like me. Can't nobody kiss like me. I do it in a way. It can't be topped. It can't be topped. I really be enjoying it. So, you can tell when people don't enjoy it. When people are pretending, you can tell when you're around people. That's when you learn people will say anything. Because people will lie and say they like things until you show them what they like. You know, I like to be deep fucked in missionary, and you do that. And wait a minute, I ain't one of them. Like, you can scare people. that people talk freakier than they are. People want sex, but people will sacrifice sex for intimacy. People, if you show them a good sensual time, sometimes you don't even have to nut. You don't have to check out. It's a lot of men that if you just touched around on his body and kissed on his neck, he'll fall in love with you. There's a lot of men that don't get that. kissing a man on his neck, man, every man in the world love that shit. Men love it when you kiss on their neck. We men love that shit. I can go into the reasons why, but I'm not, because I drive myself crazy. But because, like I said, I've studied men. I've studied it from a religious aspect, men's root and culture, men's identities through sex and necessities of sex. I have looked at men's identity through sports, men's identity through what they wear, their branding. I've researched, I've lived, experimented with myself, and studied men. I really have. I am not afraid of any man, ever, because I understand them. It's like, I understand a lot of them. I'm not gonna say all, I understand a lot of them. And baby, intimacy, men are so lacking in compliments and confidence. And it's due to a capitalist system, but we're gonna leave that alone for right now. But let's just say some men were always expected to perform regardless of tools given. They were all expected to perform and produce and give money and be a part of the family. They were never thanked. Not making it a sad song, but there are some men who have never been told they were handsome. There are some men who have never been told they smell nice, who never been told they were smart. Sad. It was some men that's never been told they were good at anything. It's sad. Sometimes I have been the first to say those things. And in just saying those things, in some of those men, I've solidified bonds that will never be broken. So, men aren't hard. Men aren't hard at all. So intimacy is one of those things that a lot of men are lacking. And some men are never admitted, but if you suck their nipples, baby, and I know a lot of women be like, oh no, they ain't gonna suck no nipple. Okay, that's all right, cool. But when whoever does it, you just lost your nigga. Whoever does it, that's one of those sensations. He gonna come back for that, just for that. Nipple play, a nigga gonna come back for that. You better hear what I'm telling you. If you think it's a goddamn game, niggas come back for that. I don't know. I played the game. Now I'm bored. Now I want to create art. I want to draw. I want to have an anime story in my head. Beautiful. All the different elements that I've seen across different stories. I just want to be able to execute it. It will be beautiful. I promise you that. Like, one of the things that made me good at sex was my power of visualization. Once you know their aura, their color, learning their color tells you their focus. It took me a lot of time before I understood what the color of it was, but like, people give off a colored light. They really do. And I first started encountering that like during sex, because like I said, I wanted to be the best pleaser I could be. I closed my eyes for a quick second, and you see that rainbow, you see that color off of them. Like it outlined their body in your eyes for that second. And then I started being able to see it without having to close my eyes. So you take those colors and your body teaches you how to shape them. It tells you what type of material, if you got a fine metal, if you got a beautiful glass, if you got a crystal, if you got a fine hair or lace, and you shape them. You use your hands and shape their forms into some beautiful work of art. You know, a jade vase, you know, emerald axe, crystal flute, you know, azure string of pearls, you know, ruby pitchfork, anything, you know, gold vajras. You change them, you play them like music, you know. My win over form is missionary, toes in their mouth, licking both thumbs, playing with the nipples, stroke. Once you got the feet in their mouth and you're playing with the nipples at the same time, you got them. You you got them. Boom. Maximum freaked out. Right there. They open right up. That Elvis stimulation of the toes combined with the nipples, it releases the walls. And you just slipped in deeper. You in there deeper. You on top of the spot. On top of it. I'm talking about you pressing that bitch to the maximum capacity. You in there. You just throbbing that bitch. Throbbing that bitch. Press up against it. Get big in that motherfucker. Like, get hard in that bitch. Like, I'm talking about, once you max throb hard in that motherfucker, that's it. That's it. You got them. Forever. You got them. They're yours. They ain't going nowhere. They're not going nowhere. Ever. Niggas will pop up at your house. Especially if you make them pee. Yeah, what? That shit easy. You know what I'm talking about? That full feeling. Once somebody actually experienced it for the first time, they'll never want it. T.S. Madison said that they'll never go without it. Once they experience it their first time, they'll never go without it. That's the truth. It's intoxicating. That feeling, it's a good feeling. And I sought to be the best. I sought to be great. I sought to be good at it. One of the many things. I sought to be good at it. I really did. I think I am good at it. Well, now, like I said, the game is boring. I learned all this, and it's just like, how do I make people feel? I don't know. I'm just an old faggot talking about his glory days. I got all this erection and nobody to give it to. Oh man, I used to have this little freak, I'm telling you. Wow. But then you run them off, your personalities become incompatible. I want my way. They want their way. Nah, we don't even fuck. On a lot of stuff, I could have just shut the fuck off. Letting the dick give you the big head. That can ruin a lot of good sexual relationships. Once you do find your lane, don't be out here just burning bridges for no reason, because sometimes you can make the wrong one feel bad. And then sometimes it just ain't no fixing it. I done lost some good ones. Ooh, I done lost some good ones over the years. My God, today. I ain't talking about shit. I'm finna get up out here.